Hey, it is Meatless Monday. Yeah, so we're gonna have some good food with no meat. Now, I have two guests on, and normally we have shepherd pie. That's made with beef or pork. But we've got a kinder, gentler version, shepherdess pie with no meat. Josephine Morris and Samie Morris. Great to have you back with us.
Hi, Sandy. Thank you for having us.
This is wonderful. This is sous chef Samie. And you're not really as tall as your mom.
No.
You were standing on a cooler. The secrets of TV, right? I think you're missing something since you were on last time. You are. Getting ready for those permanent teeth to come in, eh, Samie?
Yeah, I bit on a door handle for one of them, and then one just fell out.
Wow,
where
I've
did
never
they go?
chewed on a door handle. The tooth fairy visited you, did she? He? She? I don't know what the tooth
It's
fairy
a
is.
she.
It's a she, and she found you. Good, Samie. Okay, so tell us about this pie.
Sure.
No meat in it. Again, we're normally used to that, but you guys have a version that is better.
We do, and Samie picked this recipe for us because it's one of her favorites and she loves it. Every week when I go to the grocery store, we sit down and say, what do we want to eat this week for dinner? And Samie often picks macaroni and cheese, which we showed you before.
Yes,
and
which is delicious.
Shepherd's pie. So we'll show you how to make a meatless version.
Spaghetti.
Sometimes spaghetti. And the meatless version is sometimes called shepherdess pie, right? So that's what we'll be making today. We start with just putting a little oil in there, and then you would saute some onions.
Now we should mention you are actually with the Humane Society of the United States. So obviously meatless dishes are kind of an important thing since the Humane Society is protecting the animals of our world.
This is right, yeah, and especially for our human health, as your doctor mentioned earlier, you know, cancer is something that is affecting a lot of lives. Heart disease is affecting a lot of lives. So even places like the American Heart Association are recommending going meatless on Mondays or reducing the amount of meat that we're eating to lessen the risk of diabetes, obesity, and heart disease.
Amazing. We don't realize that that diet of meat causes as many problems as it does. I think it's getting more around, but the fact that we can eat food that doesn't have that in there, that's actually healthier for us and, you know, kinder to the animals.
You're right. It absolutely is healthier for us, and each time you choose to eat a meal without meat, you are obviously helping save lives for animals as well. Nice. And it doesn't have to be an all or nothing. Just do it every once in a while, once a week, whatever you can manage. Yeah.
Well, and finding recipes like this, where it's a favorite, you know, winter favorite, it's a great comfort food, this shepherd's pie. Without it, then, you know, you can still enjoy your favorite, but different. Okay, so we are whipping along. I tell you, sous chef Samie is just really going to town on this.
She is.
We put the onions in and we saute those.
Right. We've got the onions in there. The onions are really good with actually vitamin C. So as we come into fall and people start getting colds, of course, oranges and things like that are wonderful, but onions are also helpful. You've got your carrots and your peas, which are good for your vision and health and things like that.
Right. Now, can you use frozen? Is frozen
that's
the best,
one point I wanted to make about this shepherdess pie is that it's very inexpensive to make. So if you're anything like me and you have lots of friends that get together, this is the time of year where everyone has potlucks and you want to bring something to share.
Great one.
You can make an entire pie that serves 6 to 8 people for like just a few dollars.
You can make a little pie for a bunch of servings.
And if you want to be fancy, right, like Samie said, you can make an individual portion, which we do sometimes when we have like a dinner party or something like that, or even for kids, it's really fun for them to have their own serving. Or even for family, right?
Yeah, so that's great. So you've got the individual serving, or this would be like where you make the large one and cut it into pieces.
Right, which you just put in a casserole dish, and you can bring that along with you to any event.
Okay, so we're whipping along here.
What's that, Miss Callan's?
And peas, you got peas in there.
We got some peas in there, and then we add a little soy sauce, and those beefy crumbles, they're made from a pea protein, and they actually have 13 grams of protein per serving. So one of the biggest questions we get is, where do you get your protein? Clearly, Sammy's growing up nice and big and strong and does not have issues with protein. So we put a little thyme in there, and we got some mushroom gravy. This is what really makes it like rich and creamy in there.
Mushroom gravy. Now, do you make this gravy yourself? Or
you can. This we actually purchased. You can buy it at Whole Foods or Sprouts or any place like that that would sell a vegetarian gravy. Okay.
Oh, that's great. Now, where do you get these crumbles? Are they soy
crumbles you can buy anywhere. Actually, everything I just bought at my local Fry's store. And the wonderful thing about
Sprouts.
and the peas and the the corn and all that, it's like $1 for a whole bag. And you can use frozen, which is really just as healthy and delicious for you, and it's very inexpensive and very easy to use. So why don't I mix this up while you start mashing the potatoes?
So
Sammy's
yeah.
expert potato masher here. So
she's gotten all this in. Okay, so we got peas
So
and carrots
first,
and corn and
put
the
in the
sauteed
mashed
onions.
yep.
And then
Go ahead and stir.
your meatless meat, which is
no, Mom, this is my pot.
Okay.
Beyond Meat. I'm telling you, this Beyond Meat is so good. You had like hamburgers, non-ham burgers. You know, that was the same brand Beyond Meat, I think at Whole Foods. And oh my goodness, they were so delicious. You would think you were eating the real thing.
It's even, you know, diehard meat eaters love the texture and taste of it.
Yes. So it's not
you
like
can-
you're sacrificing when you eat
Exactly.
this.
Yeah, and you can see how colorful and delicious it is. So I'm going to start putting this in the casserole dish, and Sammy's going to get those mashed up.
So
And-
we put some milk and butter in.
Yes.
Okay, milk and butter, so that makes the cooked
Mashing.
potatoes. Oh boy, she's got the hard job going over there.
She says she's big and strong, so she could do it.
Is,
And
and
you
she
can-
eats delicious food.
See how colorful
So this is beautiful. And then the mashed potatoes go on there, and you have a finished
Yep.
version.
Let's
in
pull out the finished
oven.
version. Thank you, Sammy. She's an expert potato
Ooh,
masher.
Yes, she is.
And we'll show you what the finished product looks like.
Because you did this too, didn't you, Sammy? I tell you, you're a great sous chef. I can see where your mom wants you in the kitchen.
And you can see
There it is.
how lovely it comes out, and it's very full and satisfying. You can see all the layers there.
Yes,
And then
that
you could
is
see you could plate it
gorgeous.
up with some Brussels sprouts or salad, anything that you would like.
Beautiful meatless shepherdess pie. Thank you, Sammy, and also Josie Morris.
Thank you so
Delicious and
much.
fun. Thank you so much. Meatless shepherdess pie. Don't go away. We'll be right back.